aggregate what they can do with the PST effects, and
Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing 1 2 3 4. Okay, do I have enough books here? Let me check. These are some old pieces of shit. These are some very old books here. Okay, so this is what it is. It's easy to overthink things sometimes, whether it's shooting a YouTube video or whatever direction that you're trying to go in life. Sometimes it's just difficult. Let me make sure everything's okay. Greetings and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brent and I'm glad you clicked back on my video. This is the second video in the Dead Woman's book collection and I am excited to bring you a bunch of books. But before I do that, I want to thank everyone who's taken the time to subscribe to my channel, everyone who watches my videos, everyone who likes, and definitely everyone who comments, because the comments are insane. I mean, I'd love to read the comments because it's so many book lovers out there, so many people who love books, a lot of people who have their own stories as well, people who have their own stories about books. That's always amazing to hear you guys' stories, so thank you for that. Our channel, and I do mean ours, as of the making of this video, our channel Black Lit Geek has grew to 11,512 subscribers, so thank you very much. Okay, so let's see what's in this Dead Woman's book collection, because I went through some of these books already and we're finding out some things. We're definitely finding out some things, so let's take a look at the videos. The first book that I have is, I have to put on my glasses so I can really see what's going on. Yeah. The name of this book is called Between Friends, Entre Amy, whatever. Let me see if I can. Okay, so this is a huge, it says produced by the National Film Board of Canada, Still Photography Division, Ottawa, Canada, 1976. Between Friends was produced to honor the American Revolution bicentennial and is presented as an enduring expression of the friendship of Canadians for the people of the United States of America, 1776 to 1976. So I'm sorry for any Canadians. I'm sorry what this U.S. is doing by way of tariff. I looked at this book and it is some amazing still photography in there. I had a couple pages marked. This one I thought was really cool. You see the Canada shirt? I thought that was cool. And then in contrast, just amazing photography in here. A lot of landscape stuff, a lot of aerial photography pictures too. So it's a lot in here. So this book is huge. It is huge, and in the back there are a bunch of explanations for each photograph. Canada is clean, healthy, young, polite, unspoiled, and, as I say, just upstairs. Let's take another look at this one. So I really enjoy this book. It's so heavy. It's kind of like a picture book. So it will be one of the few books that I have in my collection that are just all about the photographs. Like what's that book over there? Hilton Carter's Living Wild. I did buy that from Target when it came out. It was literally the first photography book that I ever owned. Okay, This one. Let's go with this one. This one was very interesting. It's called The Recipe Club by Andrea Israel and Nancy Garfinkel. And when I first saw this book, I was just like, okay, it's a recipe club. It's a bunch of recipes. But let me read this. Loyalty, loss, and the ties that bind. These are the ingredients of The Recipe Club, a novel cookbook that combines an authentic story of friendship with more than 80 delicious recipes. Lifelong friends Lily and Val are united as much by their differences as by their similarities. In childhood, Lily Pad and Val Pal form an exclusive two-person club, writing intimate letters in which they share hope, fears, deepest secrets, and recipes. From Lily's longhorn lasagna to Valerie's forgiveness tapenade. Someone knows. Someone's gonna yeah. The recipe club The Recipe Club sustains Lily and Val's bond across the decades through the challenges of independence, the joys and heartbreaks of first love, and the emotional complexities of family relationships, identity, morality, and goals deferred. Until the fateful day when an act of kindness becomes an unforgivable betrayal. So this is actually a lot more than a cookbook. You know, I looked it over and I didn't see. This was dedicated to our mothers and fathers who taught us how to cook and love. I didn't see anything in this book. Okay, I do see a page that was marked off. So I'll just read a little bit of random. I'll use one of these pages that were marked off. Okay. Your father saw what was going on and took me aside. He said I needed to understand the root of my mother's illness. He said something painful and terrible that had happened to her, and if I understood it, I would be less angry and love her more. I also think he wanted me to leave her alone, to stop provoking her with hostile questions about why she was the way she was. This is very, very interesting. Very, very creative because it's a lot more than just a book of recipes. It was first published in 2009. Harper paperback, which is what this is, was in 2010. Okay. Recipe Club. Okay. So I found the Da Vinci Code, and these are in compact discs. It's like 13 compact discs in this. It's by Dan Brown. I'm sure everyone's heard of this, the Da Vinci Code. But what I also found was 2 other books that were identical. Both of these are hardbacks for the Da Vinci Code, and I'm looking through them, and look what I found in one of the 2. I didn't check the other one. Let me check the other one real quick. Okay. So these 2 books are the same. One's a little bit, the cover is a little bit darker than the other. So one seems to have had a little bit more wear and tear than the other. But I looking at and I found this. I didn't see a name or anything in the binding, but I did find this. And it was interesting. It says 1939 was an exceptional year. Now, if we remember correctly, okay, it wasn't in there. I shouldn't have walked away. Okay. If you remember correctly, we were looking at the toys. Okay, so the Toys and the Prices book from the last video had this in here. which was take a look back at 1939, and it said, to Carol. Remember that? From Rodney and Marion Reddick on 2/26/07 on 68th birthday. So it was Carol's 68th birthday. So now we have this card that says 1939 was an exceptional year because you were born. Happy birthday. So that is not a coincidence. It's not signed, but it is an old birthday card. So yeah, so we can literally from these deduce that Carol was born in 1939. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, this is another book. It's called Meet JFK. Written by Nancy Bean White. Oh, okay. It says Timothy DeBane. That's the name in there. It says Timothy DeBane, and it's kind of a book on Kennedy that was from 1965, which it's really sad what happened to Kennedy, you know, but this was a old book. I didn't see any other identifying marks in there, but yeah. Okay, so Gene Autry and the River Thief Outlaws. Okay, so get a good look at this book. Has that red binding in it, like The Mountains of Allah, which is a book I have over here. Remember this book? This book was from the This book was from the Tversky collection. The Mountains of Allah. If you haven't seen that, go back over there. I don't want to get them mixed up. But yeah, this is an old book that was published in 1944, Whitman Publishing Company. (1944). Again, especially now that it's allergy season. I've had a rough time with my allergies. This is interesting. Gene hated most. There had been countless offers from grateful towns, offers of land and livestock, of good jobs and high honors. Gene had smilingly rejected every offer that might restrict his actions or curtail his traveling. I did notice that the word restrict was underlined on page 10 of this book. I didn't see any other marks in there. But yeah, 1944. Okay. It's another one. Okay, so it was Gene Autry and the River. First it was Gene Autry and the Thief River Outlaws, and you also have Gene Autry and the Redwood Pirates. You know, and look at this cover. You know, I have to be a little bit gentle with this because this book has had it. Okay, so it's already by Bob Hamilton. Look at this. It's just a part of the flap. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to take it out of this cover before this cover just disintegrates really quickly. But if you just look at the book itself, this dust jacket really did its job because this book is in good condition. Considering, I wonder if it was in 1944 too. 1946. So look at this. I guess this is supposed to represent the good guy and the bad guy. The Redwood Pirates. Okay. So Gene Autry and the Redwood Pirates. Gene Autry and his horse Champ find plenty of grave trouble brewing as soon as they get into the Redwood country to investigate a rumor about a gang who is pirating timber in the forest along the Chicopee River. It takes all of Gene's quick thinking and action, his indomitable courage and determination to bring this group of lawless men to justice. Gene Autry has traveled far and fast since he was born in Tioga, Texas. He has made his photograph records of cowboy songs in 1929, and since then has become a radio, movie, and rodeo star in international fame. During World War II, Gene was in the Army. Since his discharge, he has again started radio and movie work to the great pleasure and satisfaction of his millions of fans. Okay, so I guess I gotta put this back in here. Okay, so this is another. Have you guys noticing the theme here? You guys noticing the theme? Okay, Polly French of Whitford High. So this was obviously a YA novel. Whitford High School, 1954. So this was 10 years later. There's nothing in here particularly, but it wasn't in black and white. If you notice, there is semblance of color in here. So let's see if we can learn anything about this book. Chapter 1. Never before in her 14 lively years had Polly French found herself in a predicament as delicious and ticklish as this one. If she had only been paying attention in the auditorium where the entire student body of Whitford High School was assembled this golden September morning, instead Polly was passing notes when her big moment burst upon her, and it was her own fault that she stood up gasping. Janet Martin had to poke her to speak. Loud, Janet breathed. Yes, thank you very much. I accept the nomination. She was so surprised she sat down in Janet's lap. Before she had landed safely in her own seat, nominated to run as vice president of Whitford High School. It was barely the second week of school, and she had already landed in the thick of excitement. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so this next book, Storms of Perfection, is a collection of letters from over 50 of the world's most successful people. Some of the people are Amy Grant, Brooks Robinson, Kenny Rogers, Bob Hope. Is that Sally Jesse Raphael? Yeah. Randy Travis. Okay. So, my mother used to listen to Kenny Rogers songs. Lady. Yeah. Who used to sing that song? Islands in the spring, that is what we are. I can't remember. Was that Dolly Parton? Because I know my mother used to play that back in the day. Okay, so this was published in Nashville, Tennessee. Has first editions and second editions. This was published in 1992, which made this a second edition. First printing, second edition, 75,000 copies. First printing was June 1991. Guess instead of just reading it, I could just put that up here so you guys can take a look. Okay. Okay, so interesting. Another interesting book. Let's go here. Around the World in 2,000 Pictures. Edited by A. Milton Runyon and Vilma F. Bergon. Okay, so this book has seen better days, clearly. Look at it, the spine is totally cracked. Someone left a comment, what do you do about books that have bugs in it? I say throw it away. This book had no other writings in there, and I was looking, and it just shows some of the, all around the world, it shows a bunch of pictures of different places all over the world. France, South Africa. It didn't show West Africa. I'm just pointing that out. It didn't. And the pictures, I won't even go that far into it, but South Carolina horses, and nicknamed the Cracker State. Georgia is the largest state east of the Mississippi. Cracker State. Interesting. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, this is just a Grenada, is the Spice Island. Okay, so this book was assembled in 1959. It was published by Doubleday. You can hear this cracking. It was published by Doubleday. Yeah, 1950. Copyright 1954. Now, okay, so this copy was 1954. Oh no, this is a revised edition from 1959. So, yeah, Egypt, Pakistan. I guess, maybe in the 50s, you weren't doing that type of traveling, so you relied on books to give you that limited view of the world. Wings on My Feet by Sonia Haney. I'm guessing that she was a figure skater. Oh man, she's doing her thing though. If you look at the back, it just shows all of these black and white photos. I love dust jackets. Okay, so this says Alma Delane Cook, 1136 West Losey Street in Galesburg, Illinois, which is about half an hour away from where we are right now. Okay, and there is something inside. This book was from 1940 by The Way. I believe this is the second printing, December 1940. And inside of it, there's a little, it says, For All Dolls, Coates and Clark, book number 270, $75. Ooh. And this is knit hooded poncho. I don't know. I guess it's doll clothes. It has like sweaters and things of that nature. I'm not 100% sure. All for dolls. So I guess this is sew 10 motifs together to form a row. So I guess this is just different patterns for making doll clothes. I wonder if we can get a date on this. panties. Doll panties? This is 1978. Okay. Yeah. I'll put this back in there. This book is 1940. When a man comes upon a standing crowd in a shop window, he usually cannot escape feeling that there must be something there worth looking at. Reason perhaps urges him that the object of attention is no more than the demonstration of some newborn gadget or the antics of a rabbit. But unless he goes and sees for himself, he inevitably finds himself haunted by a feeling that he may have missed something. People have been asking me questions about how one gets to be a skater and how one gets to be a champion for years. Okay, so yeah, so it looks more like an autobiography. Okay, so there's a bunch of other things that are in here. Looks like a Dear Chelsea, letters from kids regarding Chelsea Clinton. And I did see in this, okay, I have a lot of books over here, so it was, what was the name of it? Okay, there it is. It's called Hell to Pay. Oh, shucks. These books are not gonna make it to my shelf. Okay, I'm noticing some type of trend because I see this Dear Chelsea, which is basically letters from kids. It's a Scholastic edition, and it has Dear Chelsea, how does it feel to be a president's kid? I hope you don't change just because you're famous, you know. So, yeah. A little book about Chelsea Clinton, you know, like she was a rock star. But I also see this book, Hell to Pay, the unfolding story of Hillary Rodham Clinton. Look at that picture. This is a damning. You see how this picture just illustrates a demon, you know, just like a darkness. That is the beauty of your book, and I really encourage people to get a hold of it. You trace the history of Hillary and her associations and her opinions. It is objective, and it's well done and well researched. You chronicle it in a great way. Sean Hannity of Hannity and Combs. Okay. As the chief investigative counsel for the congressional committee that investigated Travelgate and unearthed Filegate, Barbara Olson has peered through the Clinton defenses to see a Hillary Clinton who is angry, bitter, obsessive, and even dangerous to the health of American politics. You know, yeah. So I noticed. Oh, was that something in there? Okay, so this is just, you know, everything in here just paints Hillary Clinton, even in the young days, as a monster. You know, I don't particularly like books of this nature, you know, because I believe it's leading. And then I see this. It says she's kind of seeing a little bit of an obsession with Hillary Clinton. Grace Under Fire. This is a copy of People magazine. It says an intimate look at the deep bond of love that sustains the Clinton women through their painful family ordeal. You know, and it's almost like, oh, I thought I saw something of particular interest in here. And this is from 1999, February 15th, 1999. And she has it in plastic. You know, I guess that was considered big news, but, you know, she either really loved Hillary Clinton, or she really hated Hillary Clinton. Next book is 1983 Collectible Market. From Elvis to Shirley Temple. And on the back, got a picture of old Reggie. Oh man, Reggie Jackson. Check that out. Okay. So, collectible silver, Shirley Temple dolls, things of that nature. Okay. So, we're noticing another trend in this particular collection, and it's regarding the collectibles. It seems as if Carol, I'm just using her name as Carol for now, it just seems as if Carol really, the name of this is the Magazine of Collectibles Rarities. It seems as if Carol really had grown fond of collecting, just understanding that things do gain value with age. Des Moines Visitors Edition. This was a cuttings. This is Des Moines Registered Date Book, March 11th, 1993. Hilton will be crackling. Rosie and Sweet Caroline. Neil Diamond. Okay, so. Okay, this is 93, and on the back it says Date Maker. This was the social media. It says, oh my, awesome. DWM. What's that? Dominant white male? Age 35, 9, 170 pounds, seeks female, 24 through 30, 5'4" to 5'8", 115, 135 for dancing, nature walks, sports, dining, theater, serious relationship. Okay. Farmer, rancher, cattleman, country gal, 35, 5'5", 130 pounds, pretty blonde, hard-working professional, good cook, loves horses, country dances, trail rides, camping, social drinker, wants one good-looking, secure country white male, 35 to 47. Female seeking, wow, sincere senior. Friendship, who feels as I do, lonely. Need companion for dinner, loves dancing, quiet times, watching TV, holding hands. I am 65, petite, attractive. WWF. Widowed, white female. NS, whatever that means. Energetic and honest. Okay, so yeah, this is a date book with articles. Dinner buffets, Planned Parenthood, really? Guide to shopping. These things are just very, very interesting. Jerry Seinfeld live. So, yeah. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so that was that. And I see this. Okay, let me get the rest of these, because these fell down. These are cutouts. One is, this is Neil Diamond, and it says Neil Diamond show at the Mark, which is a local venue. The name has changed. Friday night will give Quad Cityans a lasting impression. Okay. You can't make some of these things up. Okay, on the back of this newspaper clipping, I see two articles. One says same-sex marriages, Honolulu. The state Supreme Court has refused to reconsider its ruling this month that could lead to same-sex marriages in Hawaii, forcing the issue back to a lower court. The High Court on Thursday refused to reconsider its May 5th ruling that the state's ban on same-sex marriages can be unconstitutional because it is sex discrimination. This is in the 90s. And then the other article says, charges about Iowa teacher dismissed. Des Moines, Iowa. A complaint of sexual impropriety against a former Indianola high school band director were dismissed by a state board. Jack Derek Stratton of Altoon, now a Southeast Polk band teacher, said he was happy with Thursday's decision by the Iowa Board of Education examiners, but feel he was a victim of the process. The Iowa State Education Association said Stratton's accuser wove one big outrageous tale. Stratton. Isn't it amazing? Some of the things that you can uncover. Now, okay, so this says, show goes down as a gem of an opening. They were right. There wasn't a bad seat in the house. Neil Diamond has described his secular stage configuration as intimate, as far as possible, with a crowd of 12,000 people. Okay. And finally, and this is another example. It was encased in plastic of White's Guide to Collecting Figurines, March 1996. Has a picture of a rookie Brett Favre on there. So it's all about collecting She Spawn Sigor, and it's Disney classics, comic and celebrity figures, one-on-one with contemporary black artists. Okay, so this was March. And it has, okay, I just noticed that in there, and it Hallmark ornaments, action figures, and it kind of tells you. This is actually very, very handy when you think about it, because it tells you, if I could get this thing up, it prices different figurines and action figures and things of that nature. So if they had a market back then, so if it was worth $10 back then, just imagine football cards, hockey cards, medallions. It even has a classified section that you can advertise in for 42 cents a word. So, yeah. Very interesting. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed digging through some more of the books from this collection, from this Dead Woman's book collection. Yes, I keep saying it. So far, we've learned a bit. I think at this point we've learned a bit. Nothing really too definitive, because Carol is just Carol. We don't have a last name, so it's a little bit to trace any further. Other names have appeared in this collection, throughout this collection, but this is only the second video, and that case has books. On top of that case has more books. So there's definitely more to come. I see a book called Superfoods. I see Guns, Crime and Freedom, Faye Kellerman book, Sudoku. Yeah, so there's the Lagamarshino story, which has which sells treats, which sells candies and specialty candies and cookies and hand-packed ice creams and things of that nature. It's local. Okay, so there we have it. I'm going to read a couple of comments before I finish this Dead Woman's Book Collection episode. Okay, so Mana PU7SO PU7SO. This video brought back the feeling of excitement, safety, and being a child and snooping in the attic. I'm French, so it's more likely than basements. It was lovely and fun. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I kind of feel the same way. It's really interesting digging through things like this. Thunder Gig. One day ago. What an amazing video. I love old books and what people's collections tell about their interests and what was important to them. Your soothing voice and especially non-judgmental Milli Vanilli and Annie Oakley monologues was great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I was surprised to see that both of those in there. So I thought that was really cool though. Yeah. There are, how many comments did we have? 169 comments in here. So of course I cannot read them all. You know, I just can't. I'll just read a couple more. I visited the House of Seven Gables in Salem, Massachusetts. That was a book from the Dead Man's Book Collection. House of Seven Gables. I remember it being there it is. Oh. Nathaniel Hawthorne, The House of Seven Gables was part of the Dead Man's Book Collection. A house cursed by a man sent to the gallows for witchcraft. Under the many gables for almost 3 centuries, the descendants of Colonel Pyncheon have lived. From generation to generation, the curse has endured through perpetual remorse of conscience, a consciously defeated hope, strife against kindred, various misery, a strange form of death, dark suspicion, unspeakable disgrace. I'm going to put this book over to the side because it's very, very short and I might get a chance to read it. So thank you very much for your comment. You know, maybe when I finish this book, if you haven't read it, you know, hit me up. I'll send it to you. But then I'm going to want it back. Okay, I'm going to just hit view all comments. Not a 3467 writes, I am buying the Dead Woman's opera collection tomorrow. Interesting. That was 5 days ago. Let me know if you actually ended up picking it up. Lemuel Noor 216 writes, my mother still has her Better Homes and Gardens cookbook in her kitchen. Best piece of crust recipe ever. Pretty dope. Thank you for your comment. Victoria 9663 writes, when I started watching this, he made me laugh. When I started watching this, he had me laughing so hard. By the end, I was thinking about my own morality. Excellent. Thank you very much. It does the same thing for me from time to time, and it's an undertaking. And when you think about it, what a gem to pull together all of these books. It's almost like pulling people together at the same time. Spill the Reeds writes, this video stopped me in my tracks while scrolling. Such a nice watch. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I might mess up the last name, but pardon my Chicago. Heather DeBear writes, what a fabulous human to hang out with here on YouTube. I love your comedic nature and your contagious excitement about books and reading. This was really enjoyable. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. This was also on the Dead Woman's book collection, the unboxing video. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Caption Anthony writes, these books I bought from a dead man. Not sure how the algorithm got me here, but I'm glad it did. I am too. I'm glad you did. A lot of people seem to have just kind of found these books and found my video, so I really do appreciate it. It really helps. I might be able to pay my rent this month without stress and strife. Okay, Junie Moon 1528 writes, hey, Annie Oakley rocked. You should check her out. New viewer here. This was fun. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Glad you liked it. I may get an opportunity to read Annie Oakley at some point in the future. Okay, so is Mr. NSVGT, Ness Virgin? I have Insurgent, Divergent, and Allegiant. Those are those Roth books. I do have all three. I picked all three of those books up. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. I picked those up, all of those up. So I can't get your name. I'm sorry. So I'll just read your comment. So you have more than 10K subscribers. Yeah, I did. At the time of shooting the video, I was probably like, man, I just want to get to, and that was a comment I made from the original collection, because at the time I wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers. So I finally did hit 10,000, and it did make me think about the difference between setting goals and setting milestones, and how sometimes we set our goals too small. We don't allow ourselves enough opportunity to dream beyond the box. Brittany T writes, that's so cool. That was regards to a short that I did. The Shakespeare, Marsha Ward, hey, how you doing? she's been rocking with me for a while. The Shakespeare was in such good condition, probably because it has never been read. Absolutely. It's that was the oh goodness gracious. This was the first video, the complete works of William Shakespeare, that was in this excellent condition. Yeah. Okay, so I don't believe I have that Catcher in the Rye handy. You know, I really have to do a better job of organizing. I saw that a couple of days ago. You know, I don't script any of this stuff. If I did, I would have that book. So I'm not 100% sure what this note was, but now I'm so interested. Okay, I know it was J.D. Salinger. There it is. J.D. Salinger, Catcher in the Rye. Interesting. This was the book that that Melissa Beamer. Okay, that note left in the Catcher in the Rye is perfect. And she was referring to this note that was written 2/25/1980, from one lost adolescent to another. Happy 3rd anniversary. Love always. Don. Oh my God. That was a beautiful note that Don wrote, I think, to his partner Tom. But this would have been, if we're talking about one lost adolescent, we're talking about the 80s. We're talking about when they were much younger. And probably happy 3rd anniversary, which may have been their 3rd year together. It's such a heartwarming story because we gathered from the Tversky collection that Tom and Don were partners, and it actually I believe started in their early adolescence, so they probably had known each other for a long time. I appreciate you. I'm gonna read one more. Okay, Miriam Saeed writes, I love vintage books. Although they may be old, they still hold a deep gusto egg to them. Gusto egg, that's very interesting, but I totally agree. Yeah, I do enjoy digging through books. It is, as a previous comments, it's like digging through the attic, so I do appreciate it. One more by Jennifer ... So cute you talking to us from behind your chair. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it very much. Everyone that comments, if I didn't get an opportunity to read your comment, I do apologize, but I can't read them all. Those would be separate videos, and they do terrible. Okay, so thank you for sharing this time with me, going over more books, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. Click like, share it with a friend. I really appreciate it. It does a lot for the numbers. So at this point, there's nothing to say but thank you. I love you, and I appreciate you all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Create what they can do with his team effects, and